Hi guys, Steady Eddie here. Hope all's well with everyone. Now, this little video is just to talk about something that worries me. In fact, it's something that may well worry any British person who was travelling abroad this winter. Well, I'm heading out to my beloved Southeast Asia this winter time, and the countries that I'm looking at are Thailand and Cambodia. Both wonderful countries to be in the winter months, winter sunshine and all of that. Well, right now there's some good news and bad news with regards to travelling to these countries, or anywhere for that matter. The good news is that the dreaded pandemic appears to be over. Thankfully, I mean, I think there's none of this PCR and quarantine hotel rubbish anymore. I think we've all just about had enough of that. The bad news is that I, as a British man, have to use the pound sterling. And on this particular day, that is looking grim. And I'm not talking fairy tales. The British pound is weak. It started getting weak about 6 years ago when we came out of the European Union, and it's never really recovered since. It's gradually got weaker, but on this particular day, September the 23rd, it got really, really weak. The Chancellor's so-called mini budget saw the pound reaching a 37-year low against the US dollar. Things are obviously more expensive for the British traveller when the pound gets weak. Let's just go over the last 20 years. About 20 years ago, the pound was strong against the US dollar. In fact, at one point, I think it reached $2 to a pound. Also, around about that time, you could get 73 Thai baht to a pound. Terrific. They were good days. Well, things fluctuate, and about 5 years later, the Thai baht suddenly got very, very strong to about 50 to a pound. And the pound weakened against the US dollar, but it goes up and down over the years, but the average you could expect $1.50 to a pound. That is the average over a period of time. But then, about a couple of years before Brexit, the pound got really strong again. It got to about 1.6 against the US dollar. Not only that, it got to about 1.4 against the euro. This was just about 7 years or something like that ago. Bloody good stuff, really, really good stuff. Then came Brexit, yes, and everything changed. Brexit about 6 years ago when we pulled out of the European Union. Well, the pound took a nosedive, not in a colossal way, not in a disastrous way, but it lost value against the dollar and other currencies, and it's never recovered since. But this is a particularly worrying time. Today, the pound slumped to a 37-year low against the US dollar. So, what is happening to the British economy? Well, we had this mini budget today, and it seems that the new government, the new Chancellor and new Prime Minister, are offering tax cuts, to the better off in society, with the supposed aim that the economy is going to grow, and the increased wealth that it will generate is then going to trickle down to the poorer in society. Well, I'll believe that when I see it. Anyway, the markets don't seem very, very impressed with the new mini budget, with the pound slumping again. Last time I looked, it was $1.09 to a pound, which is dreadful. And also, it took a hit against the euro as well. Not good if you're British and you want to travel this winter. So, is this all to do with the British pound? Well, not exactly. The US dollar has become exceptionally strong against other currencies. I mean, this week the Thai government were very, very concerned about the weakening Thai baht against the US dollar. Well, of course, from a British perspective, the Thai baht doesn't look very weak. Right now, I think you can get about 41 Thai baht to a pound, which is not good, but it has been worse. About a year or so before the pandemic, the big concern for British tourists going to Thailand was that the Thai baht was only going in one direction, and that was stronger and stronger and stronger against other currencies. In fact, I think it got to about 37 Thai baht to a pound at one stage, about 3 or 4 years ago. And that was very, very worrying for people. People were starting to think, they've got to find other places other than Thailand, because Thailand is no longer the bargain destination it once was. So how much more expensive is it going to be for us Brits heading to Southeast Asia this winter time? Well, if you're heading to Thailand, it doesn't look that bad. But in Cambodia, it's not good news, because their currency is linked to the US dollar. They have their own currency, it's called the Rail, but it doesn't really add up to a great deal. You only really use that for small change. In Cambodia, it's dollars all the way. Recently, I booked a number of hotels for my forthcoming trip. When I booked the hotels in Thailand, it was actually quite good news. The hotels, if anything, were getting a little bit cheaper, than what they were before the pandemic. Mainly because they're trying to get the tourists back. Yes, some very, very good deals to be had with Thai hotels at this moment in time. But then I booked a few hotels in Cambodia, and it didn't seem as cheap as it should be. Cambodia, remember, is actually one of the cheapest countries in the world. It's a great value destination. But when I booked these hotels, I was a little bit disappointed. I thought it was going to be better value than that. But it's easy to see why. Cambodia uses the US dollar. Now, what this basically means is that under normal circumstances, when the pound was, $1.5 to a UK pound, if a hotel was 30 US dollars, and you can get a bloody good hotel in Cambodia for 30 US dollars, that would have cost you £20 in sterling. But now that same hotel will cost you about £28. Okay, so it's it's a significant rise. Now, it's still great value according to British prices, but if you add that up, the difference in price every time you stay in a hotel or have a meal or have a bed or do whatever you're doing, it's dollars all the way in Cambodia. It is going to be more expensive for you. Cambodia's a very, very cheap country, but there's not much difference between a pound and a dollar in this day and age. So, are things going to be more expensive for the British traveller this year? Well, they are if you're going to a country that uses the US dollar. Definitely. But that's not really the thing that's worrying me right now. The thing that's worrying me is just how low can the pound go? So right now, no one seems to have much confidence in the British economy. It looks to me like we're very, very much in recession. People are going hungry this winter time, struggling to pay the fuel bills, and also there are other factors in the world that are happening right now which could well disrupt everything. But about the pound and our travelling currency, just how low can it go? Well, could it possibly go the same way as Turkey? I mean, you look at the Turkish currency for an example. I remember, the Turkish currency was about 2.5 lira to 1 UK pound. Now their currency, after it went into free fall, it's now about 20 lira to a pound. I mean, their currency is almost valueless. I can't really see how Turkish people could possibly travel abroad with a currency like that. Will the same ever happen to us? Well, no. That'll never happen to us, will it? Because we're British. We're British. I mean, we'll always bounce back. Great Britain, I mean, our great pound, okay, it's taken a bit of a knock now. 37-year low against the US dollar. Looks like it's weakening against other currencies as well. But we'll bounce back, won't we? Because we're British. We're British. At least we like to think so.